Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Show Me Your Stack. Today I'm sitting down with Corey. Corey, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm the founder and CEO of a HubSpot solutions partner called Soundfront Advisors.
Awesome. Well, Corey, I'm excited to jump in and hear what's in your tech stack. So what do you have for us at number one?
So is this going in order of most used or least used?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Yeah, you can tell it's definitely Thanksgiving
Walk me
week,
through the
right?
convention real quick.
Hey. Yep. So we're gonna go 5-1. So
All right.
obviously, if it's landing in your top five, it's still amazing. But your top five,
Absolutely.
starting at five. Yeah.
And I had a lot of kind of tech stack anxiety coming into this because I feel like my tech stack is boring. But at the end of the day, like I try not to use tools that I don't get use out of. So these are ones that I'm really using, and most of my clients use tools too. So the first one is Apollo.
Okay.
So I find Apollo to be kind of a standout among many data enrichment and lead sourcing platforms out there. And I really love the way it integrates with HubSpot. And I
Okay.
really love the partner program they have. So it makes it easier for us to hook our clients up with Apollo.
I love it. All right. What's at number four?
Number four is Surf. So Surf is another partner of ours and one that I use just about every day. And Surf is used primarily as a connector between HubSpot and LinkedIn. And because I and so many of my clients are spending so much time on LinkedIn, finding their clients there, doing research there, this is kind of the missing link that will just bring your HubSpot interface right to your LinkedIn window via Chrome extension and allow you to sync contacts and companies over to HubSpot. So it's
Love
hugely useful. I love it. And you can also they have their own data enrichment, or you can add something like Apollo, your license key, and use your enrichment you're already paying for.
it. Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
What's three?
Number three is Fathom, another crowded space, and have tried a number of these. But and it seems like a lot of others seem to keep coming back to Fathom as just being a great AI note taker. I just have so much comfort knowing that I can be present in my conversations and not worry about what the notes I'm taking, because I can always go back and find, not only the recording and the transcript of the calls, but I can quickly ask Fathom, hey, what did we decide about this again? And it's just
Right.
one of those incredible productivity boosters. And again, love the HubSpot integration, knowing that when I finish up a call, I can have my calls, that AI meeting summary and the links go right into HubSpot. It's awesome.
I love it. Okay. What do you have at number two?
Number two, Supered. Um,
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's got to be on the list. And like I have a very special relationship with Supered, in that Supered really got me to see the ability for me to build the sort of HubSpot solutions partner business model that I wanted to. And so I use Supered in two ways. The way that I'm primarily using it day to day is it allows me to take some kind of best practice configurations and some tools that I've spent a lot of time configuring and building.
Right.
And when we get hired with a new client, come in and drop many of those configurations in with a couple of clicks. And so it's incredibly powerful and I should have gotten this out of the way in the beginning, but I'm very focused on the financial services space, particularly private markets businesses like M&A advisors, investment banks, private equity firms. And so we have so many custom configurations. And when we get hired, we can go in and get our clients going overnight, essentially, and then just fine tune it for their business. So Supered makes that possible. And then Supered also, from an end user perspective, we use that to deliver the documentation
Right.
to our clients, and help them make sure they're getting the proper and best use out of their new shiny CRM.
I love it. All right. What do you have for us at number one?
Has to be HubSpot. And the more I try to come up with creative answers to these things, like where am I living every day, and more it's HubSpot, and I just keep getting, more pulled into the gravitational pull of, doing more of my, business, moving more of my business processes into HubSpot.
Right.
I'm using it to manage my calendar. I'm obviously using it to manage all my relationships. I'm now starting to use it to manage our user tickets. So kind of using the service hub there to, now that we're growing and have a lot of client requests coming in, using that. There's so much more. And so, I'm living in HubSpot, and the great thing about using HubSpot, and not only am I delivering it to my clients, and that's part of that is the business model, but I also have comfort knowing that as we scale this business, we've got
Right.
this solid foundation. I also, I just moved invoicing and quoting into HubSpot as well. Those are integrated with QuickBooks, but I just know that I've got this foundation, and we have this foundation to build our firm. And I just take so much comfort in that, and knowing we're, on such a solid
Totally.
base there.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, what are you excited about? What are you hearing about in industry that really excites you from a tech stack?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it is, and it's somewhat cliche, a new cliche, but agentive AI. But I truly see the value in it, and I truly see the ability to, use it to get work done in a way that, call it, AI, commercially available AI 1.0 with large language models just couldn't.
Right.
And some of the tools that I've started tinkering around with, and feel like they're not quite there yet, but are super close, is agent builders and app builders. One thing I'd love to see, you had prompted for, kind of wish list apps, and one of
Right.
those would be a way to use an agent to build custom UI extensions in HubSpot, using kind of the new React library.
Right.
It's this, and it's the sort of thing that 3 to 5 months ago, there were some specific use cases that I knew I wanted to do, but was looking at spending thousands of dollars on development work to do that. And now it feels like we're very close to being able to really kind of build those apps using agents. And it's going to just power so much more, the way that we can kind of serve our clients, and then tools that we can deliver to them, really to just scale much more easily, much more effectively.
Yeah. I love that. You took my next question, so I loved it.
Alright.
No, you're good. Because it totally made sense with what you're hearing about and what you're wishing. And I agree with you. I mean, we're all hearing so much about AI. And
Yeah.
it's like, is it going to take my job, or am I going to piggyback on it, and is it going to make my job easier?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
And
trying to stay on that edge where, like, I want to be, tinkering with them as they come out. And I'd say that, I don't have a developer background, but I do have a tinkerer background. And what I love about this technology, I mean, it's HubSpot, to some degree, but there's so much you can do with no to very low code now, that it kind
totally.
of feel there's this, like, excitement that I feel, and I know a lot of others feel, because it just those adjacent possibilities for, what we can do, and how we can serve our clients. It's just becoming
Right.
so massive.
Totally. I mean, I even like today I just asked him like what was traditional GTM and SEO and what's new, like just to hear, because I'm like, how were people doing it before? What is new? And I like have full conversations with it, just in a way I used to with Google, but had to open 10 windows at a
Yeah,
time to get there.
yeah, that's right.
And so I'm like, it's just making the research more condensed into one readable place, um, which I really like. And then I'm like, please cite source. So then I know if I need to dive in deeper, I'm like, okay, I can go read this book on this. Um,
Yeah, I mean, some of
so,
the things that not only that I'm able to do for my business, but that I'm seeing my clients able to do. And some of these are small firms, 5, 6, 7 person firms.
Right.
The sorts of go-to-market activities between marketing and sales outreach and automating that and keeping the CRM up to date and driving using this to book meetings. I mean, this took a team of people to pull off. I saw it. It took a team of people to pull off 10 years ago, and now much small. It's really democratizing the ability of smaller firms to get out there and tell their stories in a major way. And I think at the beginning I said that maybe my tech stack's a little boring, and I think part of it's because I see all of us kind of HubSpot in the HubSpot ecosystem. We talk about all these tools. We see them all over on LinkedIn. But at the same time, I also know that in the world that I'm serving, this is absolutely revolutionary, groundbreaking stuff. And a lot of the firms that I'm working with, when they start to see it, they're like, oh wow, and that's what made me get into what I am doing, was seeing just the way that this could supercharge a firm's growth. Totally. And really enable them to grow smartly from the very beginning, as opposed to like cobbling it all together and then at some point having a massive project to add technology underlying it. I just love seeing these smaller firms get the sorts of results that before you just couldn't do without team of people.
Right. Agreed. All right. What is your advice to other CEOs when choosing a tech stack?
Don't spend too much time like experimenting and testing out. And I think that there's just so much noise out there, and there's an allure to like, oh, am I on the best solution? Am I on the second best solution? Oh, what did the ranking change? Am I still? My advice, and I've given this before, and I'll give it again, is you choose something that is going to meet a kind of bare minimum set of requirements. Like, is the platform that's built on HubSpot, Salesforce, Dynamics, whether it's one of the kind of more established tools, and there are a lot smaller ones that are still fine. But then find someone who can really show you how to use them for your business, for the industry you're in, for your own processes. Because I think there's the points of differentiation between technology is becoming fewer and further between. But I would say that it is making a lot of room for, where you get the most value is when you have an ecosystem and you have partners who've worked in the industry that you are in, and then can help you, not only use the tool, but think about it, how it applies to your industry, what you are doing. Because, just because something is the top ranked CRM doesn't mean that it's going to, meet all of your needs. And conversely, there could be a tool out there that doesn't work for a lot of people, but it happens to have the right set of tools in it. But most importantly is find someone, an advisor, a solutions provider who can help you get the most out of those tools that you do commit to using, and try not to switch every 6 months. It's just math.
Yeah, you're like, your team's not gonna love you if you're doing that, so don't do that. No. Yeah, I hear that. Awesome. I love that. Do you have any parting thoughts or wrap-ups?
I don't think so. This has been very fun to do. And I love Supered. I love you guys and what you're doing. I thank you for making this business possible for me. And I always have fun hanging out with you, whether in real life or virtually.
Yes, I love it. For our listeners, I got to meet Corey in person at Inbound. So are you going next year to San
I'm planning on it, and I just saw they dropped the Black Friday discount, so I might have to buy it on Friday.
Yes, I know. We were actually internally just chatting about that earlier this morning. So
an easier trip to get through than Boston.
Me too. I live on the West Coast, so I'm like, oh, good. No, I'm with you there. So
can't wait.
Awesome, Corey. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashley. Take care.
Let's shuffle up and show me your tech stack, where every episode is a high stakes reveal of the tools that are aces in our guest book, where chips are down and digital decks are on the table. Are you ready for the best-in-class tech? Let's deal these cards and see what comes up. Who's ready to double down on digital innovation with me?